Good afternoon. We're diving into the circus that unfolded at 26 Federal Plaza, where New York City Comptroller and radical left-wing Brad Lander, who is also running for mayor, by the way, was arrested by ICE. Lander linked arms with an illegal immigrant whose deportation case had just been dismissed. And then he wound up getting handcuffed, detained, and taken away by federal agents. He was taken into custody after interfering in an active ICE operation. Now the left is crying foul, playing the same tired card: Trumpian fascism, authoritarian ICE agents, grotesque abuse of power, so on and so forth. We'll get into Letitia James' reaction, Brad's wife's press conference, and what Assistant DHS Secretary Tricia McLaughlin had to say. Welcome to Nellie Miranda. Before we get into today's video, please make sure you like and subscribe, as it really helps support the channel. Now let's begin.
Guys, back up, guys. Back up. I understand. You're pregnant, but I need you to back up. If you're interfering with this arrest, we're going to arrest. Back up, guys. Back up, guys.
This is not legal to take someone without a judicial warrant.
Please don't put him in the elevator and then claim you have the warrant.
You don't have a warrant for him.
I will let go when you show me the judicial warrant. Where is it?
Where is the warrant?
I have it in my hand here.
So show it. Let us see it. So let us see it before you take his warrant.
Excuse me, please stay back. Take it right back. Take it right back. Step back. Please, step back. Step back, guys. Step back.
U.S. citizens. You don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens. Please stay back. You don't have. I'm not obstructing. I'm standing right here in the hallway.
Okay, so the entire thing was caught on camera. ICE agents accused him of assaulting federal officers and interfering with enforcement operations. And let's be honest, whether you think he was acting out of compassion or campaigning for street credit, he inserted himself directly into a federal operation. Listen to what his wife, Meg Barnett, had to say about his arrest.
Were you with him? I was with him. So let me say again, my name is Meg Barnett. The last name is spelled B-A-R-N-E-T-T-E. I am Brad's wife. I joined him today because this is the third time that he has done court watching here, and I have been moved and horrified and found his stories very compelling, and wanted to be here with him to witness for myself. I just do want to say again that I am extraordinarily mindful right now of how many privileges Brad and I have. He is being held by ICE and someone else. I know that he is a citywide elected official, that he is a citizen of this country, that he holds a U.S. passport, that he is accompanied by a member of the NYPD right now who has his welfare at interest. I was able to call a friend, a lawyer. I was able to get that because of the means and connections that we have. Nobody else in that building who's facing those situations has that. And that I'm just very, very aware of how I feel right now, having watched Brad be taken away and knowing that he's going to be okay.
Really, Meg? ICE swarmed your husband because he linked arms with someone who is illegally here and then physically interfered with officers doing their job. We've reached a point where liberal elites think rule of law only means their interpretation of it. So after being detained for several hours, Brad Lander was released. All charges were dropped, and this is what he had to say after his release. Wait, before I let you hear what Brad had to say, please listen to Governor Hochul saying she's allocating $50 million for lawyers and such for illegal immigrants.
But to my knowledge, there are no charges. Charges have been dropped. He walks out of there a free man. But while that is a positive outcome in a very high-profile case, we're also concerned about those that are walking out of this courthouse taken away from their families. They don't have the attention. They don't have the lawyers. And that's why the state of New York is providing $50 million to cover legal services for people who are finding themselves in this situation. We'll continue to do what we can to support the communities and the immigration coalitions and thank them for their work that they're doing at this time.
Ooh-wee. This is insanity. I swear to you, you only need $3,000 to $5,000 to start a business that generates $100,000 a year. If the government has all this money to spend, then clearly Americans should be in a better place. I'm not talking about handouts, but damn it, if there's $50 million to spend on illegal immigration in one state, there's no way that we don't have that kind of money to provide small grants for people wanting to start businesses, first-time home buyer grants, scholarships for young kids to enter trade schools, and all of that. I mean, this is a gross misuse of taxpayer dollars. Yes, these programs exist, but it looks like they can obviously do way more. This is a nonsense. Anyway, here's Brad.
At that elevator, I was separated from someone named Edgardo, who I had just met a couple of minutes earlier. Edgardo is in ICE detention, and he's not going to sleep in his bed tonight. So far as I know, he has no lawyer. He has been stripped of his due process rights by a government and a judge that owe him a credible fear hearing before they deport him, and yet have decided instead to strip folks like Edgardo and the prior gentleman that I walked out with, whose native language is Yoruba, and who only got a translator in French. And so when the judge said, "Do you understand what it means that after I dismiss your case, you'll have no status?" He said no status as he recognized what was about to happen. So I will be fine, but Edgardo is not going to be fine. And the rule of law is not fine. And our constitutional democracy is not fine. This is the third week in a row that I've come down here with Immigrant ARC.
Brad Lander just said that for the past 3 weeks, he's been showing up every single week to support immigrants at court and will continue to do so. So listen closely. The New York City Comptroller, whose job is to audit budgets and track tax spending, is pledging to spend his time protesting deportations. Not dealing with the broken MTA, not helping small businesses suffocating under regulations, but showing up at courtrooms and standing between ICE agents and illegal immigrants.
I want to thank the governor, and I want to thank Immigrant ARC, the organization that I was volunteering with today, and all the other volunteers that are here. I'm New York City Comptroller Brad Lander, and I'm happy to report I am just fine. I lost a button. But, you know, I'm going to sleep in my bed tonight, safe with my family. I'm grateful to hear that the charges are not being brought, but if they are, I've got a lawyer. I don't have to worry about my due process rights.
There it is, folks. The martyr complex in full force. Lander just tried to equate losing a button and a 5-hour detainment with the collapse of constitutional democracy. He's not defending civil liberties. He's defending lawlessness. This wasn't about Edgardo, and I'm sorry that this man is being used for political theater. This was about Brad Lander's ego, his mayoral ambitions, and turning an ICE interaction into a campaign commercial. Now, here's the big question. If a sitting official can physically obstruct federal officers and walk away with no immediate charges, what message does that send? Are immigration laws just optional now? Or is this exactly what happens when politics get prioritized over law enforcement? I don't know. You tell me. And of course, Letitia James, our activist attorney general, wasted no time inserting herself into the drama. Here's what she said. This is profoundly unacceptable. Arresting Comptroller Lander for the simple act of standing up for immigrants and their civil rights is a shocking abuse of power. No one should face fear and intimidation in a courthouse, and this is a grotesque escalation of tensions. The administration's rampant targeting of New Yorkers only make our communities less safe. No, Letitia. What's grotesque is watching an elected official violate federal law and then watching you defend it like he's a hero. You were not this passionate when New Yorkers were being mugged in subways or when your office was covering up sexual harassment claims. But sure, let's throw the full weight of the Attorney General's office behind Brad Lander's activist cosplay. Anyway, here's what Assistant DHS Secretary Tricia McLaughlin had to say about it.
Tricia, why do Democrats feel they're above the law and that these scuffles work for them? How do you view this?
Brian, if you lay hands on a law enforcement officer or impede their enforcement actions, you will be arrested, just as we saw here. But Brian, even more than that, we're seeing an epidemic of Democrat politicians who are seeking higher office, much like the mayor of Newark, who went and crashed Delaney Hall and tried to get into a secure facility. Then earlier this week, we saw Senator Padilla, a sitting U.S. senator, go and crash Secretary Noem's press conference and aggressively approach her. I mean, this is just the third one in a row. These guys want their 15 minutes of fame, and they want to do it off the backs of our ICE law enforcement officers, and we won't stand for it in this administration. Our law enforcement officers, their safety comes first, and so does the American citizens as well.
And she's right. Lander's arrest wasn't a tragedy. It was theatrics wrapped in civil rights rhetoric. We're watching the left create chaos, break the law, and then claim to be the victims of oppression when law enforcement steps in. Now, let's talk timing. Just 2 weeks before the NYC mayoral primary, and Lander gets arrested in front of cameras with his wife live streaming. Sounds about as authentic as a Hollywood script. Because remember, we've already seen similar stunts from Senator Alex Padilla, Mayor Ras Baraka. 3 arrests, 3 Democrats, all while the party's base is fired up over immigration. Coincidence? I don't know. You decide. But here's the bottom line. Brad Lander put himself above the law. He crossed the line, not for the immigrant he claimed to protect, but for the narrative that he wanted to build. He got what anyone else would get for obstructing law enforcement. He got handcuffed. In the media, they ate it all up. Do you think Brad Lander's arrest was justified? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if honest commentary brings you value, please make sure you like and subscribe, as it really helps support the channel. And tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.